IPT. We are on day 5 of quarantine, and a lot of clients I've been working with this week online have been going a little bit crazy because they don't know, they're not used to being home, they're not used to having to cook anything. A lot of people eat out. And the other challenge we're having is that going to the grocery store, there aren't all the ingredients we need. So what I wanted to give you today is a great recipe, a great snack idea, that's a healthy snack idea for you and your kids that you can use just from ingredients that you might have in your pantry. So today we're going to make oatmeal energy bites. This is something I make all the time with my kids, and they love them. And they're super healthy, they're high in protein, natural sugars, lots of healthy fats. So that's what we're going to make. I'm going to show you how to make today, and this is what I'm going to show you today, what I'm going to make them with, but you can definitely substitute depending on what you might have in your pantry this time. So I'm going to use today rolled oats. I have gluten-free rolled oats here, and you can get those. A lot of people have them in their pantry already, but you can get them in any store generally right now. We are going to use some coconut flakes. Again, I just have it in a jar because I just like to store it in the fridge. We have some ground flax seeds here. Again, I like to store them once I grind them. I like to store them in the fridge. And we have some chocolate chips. These are the Enjoy Life chocolate chips, and they are obviously gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free. They're just pure cocoa. So I do like to use those, but you can use anything. If you don't have chocolate chips, you could also use something like raisins if you have those in your fridge or in your pantry. One of the other things you can add, we are going to use the flax seeds today, but you could also use hemp hearts. If you're going to use these, just grind them up. They're super healthy, full of protein, good fats. So those are something you can add to them. For the nut portion of this, I am going to use walnuts. I buy these big bags of walnuts from Costco. So again, super healthy fats and protein in there. You could also use almonds. I don't think I'm using today, but you could also use almonds. If you don't have any of those, you could also use, if you have peanuts, you could use any kind of nut that you have and whatever you prefer, whatever your taste is. As a sweetener, I'm going to use maple syrup. This is 100% pure maple syrup. You could also use honey as well as a sweetener. I am also going to use peanut butter. So this is the Kirkland organic peanut butter. This is the one that's just pure peanuts, no sugar. I'm going to use that today. And vanilla. Can't forget the vanilla. I love vanilla. It's one of those things I love. And so I just like to add it for flavor. It's not a necessity. If you don't have it, don't worry about it, but it's definitely something, if you have it, to add a few teaspoons of this is going to make the flavor awesome. And I do have some coconut oil out, but I only use coconut oil. I buy the big one again from Costco. I only use coconut oil if I find at the end that's a little bit too dry. Maybe I've added too many oats or too much nuts, and it's just too dry and crumbly. So then it's just adding a couple teaspoons of coconut oil. So that being said, then we will get started with making it. Oh, and don't forget, we need some measuring spoons out, measuring spoons, and some measuring cups and spoons, and a big bowl. Okay, so now we're gonna get started. As I said, I'm gonna use what I have, and these are just approximate measurements that I've been using. And you know, we'll put it all together, and then at the end, I just kind of see if we need to add anything else. So we're gonna start with a cup of rolled oats. So here I have a container of rolled oats. Mine are gluten-free rolled oats. So we're gonna do a cup of rolled oats, and everything's just gonna go in a big bowl. This is super easy. There's nothing you have to bake. Just put everything in a big bowl, and we're pretty much gonna mix it together. So we're gonna do a cup of rolled oats. We are gonna do a cup of ground flax seeds. And you can use ground, if you have chia seeds, that would work as well. And again, if you don't have them, you don't have to add them. It's nothing, it's not like baking where you need all these specific ingredients in specific proportions. These are no bake, so you can kind of, add more of something if you like that or you don't have something. So we're doing a cup of ground flaxseed. We're gonna do a cup of ground nuts. Now I am going to use walnuts today. So I have a mini food processor. If you don't have one, you can use just a high-speed blender to grind nuts. Or if you have a coffee grinder, you could also do that. So what I do is just measure up my nuts. Here we go. Some walnuts, we're gonna just do about a cup. And again, because it doesn't have to be a perfect measurement of nuts. we're gonna grind those. Okay, so we're doing our walnuts. We've got our cup of walnuts. We're doing them in, I'm doing them in my food processor. As I said, you can use them in, you can grind them in a high-speed blender, or if you like have a coffee grinder, just something. You definitely want to try and get them ground though, or they're going to be a little too chunky for the energy bites. So we're just going to add that to our bowl. Okay, next we are going to add a cup of chocolate chips. The ones I'm using here are the Enjoy Life ones. They're obviously they're gluten-free. They are dairy-free, so anyone who's dairy sensitive, they're dairy-free. They're soy-free, but you can use literally anything that you have. If you don't have chocolate chips, if you have like raisins, you could use raisins as well for a little bit of that little bit of sweetness. My kids definitely like chocolate chips in theirs, so we will add that. So we're going to do a cup of chocolate chips into this mix. So we've got a cup of chocolate chips. We are going to do our sweetener. What we are going to use is maple syrup. You can also use honey if you have it. So we're going to go 2/3 of a cup of maple syrup. So this is a 1/3 cup, so I'm going to do 2 of these. And this is our natural sweetener. And as you guys can probably see, my dog likes to sit below whenever I cook because she likes to lick up whatever I seem to drop on the floor.
Chelsea, come here.
So she's there. So we do that. We're also going to add, say I said 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now that you could add as much as you really like. I love vanilla, so I'm always very generous with how much vanilla. Whoops, that's maple syrup. Wrong one. We're going to do that again. Right, this is the vanilla. So we're going to do some vanilla for flavoring in there. And again, if you don't have it, you don't have to add it. Don't go out to the store specifically to get some of this stuff. Use what you have at home. Next, we are going to add a cup of peanut butter. And again, you can use peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, whatever you have. We're going to do a cup of that. You grab a spoon and roughly a cup of peanut butter. The one I have is just the Kirkland Organic, the no added sugar one that I buy all the time. It's a pretty good one. We're going to do a cup. This one's almost out. So I've got another one here as a backup. We're going to do a cup of now natural. Just remember that natural peanut butter has a lot of oils in it, so you want to make sure it's mixed well as well. This is all natural peanut butter, and I said if you're a Costco shopper, it is the best deal for getting organic peanut butter. But you can also use almond butter as well. So we're gonna do about a cup of peanut butter in here. So rolls. Then what I'm gonna do is just kind of start mixing all that together. Get it all mixed together. And seeing how that looks. Now really you just want it to be like a paste. Like really pasty, chunky, so that you can work with it to roll it into little balls. It can be a little bit sticky, but yeah. So really, we just want to look at it. I'm going to get a plate to put these on. Really, we just want what I'm going to show you. You could use, you can use like a cookie scoop or an ice cream scoop or something like that. I generally just kind of use my fingers to do it. So it's going to be a little bit on the sticky side. So you just want to make little balls out of it. And then put them on a plate or a container. The other thing you can do, and I'll do it sometimes, is I'll roll them in some unsweetened coconut, and that actually makes it easier. They don't get so sticky on the outside. Okay, so the one thing I did realize, I got the hemp seeds out, but I decided to use the flax seeds instead, but you can use them both. I said there's no real rules here, so if you want to add hemp seeds, you can definitely use that. I would just grind them first to make more into a powder. So as my daughter said as she's filming this, she does like the energy bites with coconut on them. So this is unsweetened coconut. I just have it in a jar that I kept in the fridge. You can buy it at any most stores, but just the unsweetened. So we don't want any added sugars here for this. So again, I just kind of make it into a little ball, kind of, and then if you just roll it in the coconut, it actually makes it a lot less sticky than that. So we just continue doing that, making them like that. Okay, so now I've just finished rolling all the energy bites, most of them covered in coconut, just makes them not so sticky. The best way to eat these, I do say there's nothing in them that needs to be refrigerated, but they are way better when they're refrigerated. So you can either refrigerate them or freeze them. I usually, before we even eat them, kind of solidifies them so they're not so sticky. I'm just gonna stick them in the fridge for like an hour, and then they'll be ready to eat. And then we just keep a batch in the fridge. And sometimes, one of the other things you can do, and I like to do all the time, is I'll double batch everything. So I'll just double the recipe, and then we have a ton to eat at a later date, and we'll just put them in the freezer. So I hope you guys find this helpful. As I said, if you have any questions or if you need any ideas on, you don't have all these ingredients in the pantry and other things you can use, just send me a note through Flock, Kathy Falk at Flock, and I'm happy to answer any questions.